Some silk and steel.
Greetings, I'm Logan the G.I. Joe Gamer, and welcome to Joe Takes Classics. Joe Takes Classics is where I play old Joe Take videos and share them with you and talk about them with you in the chat. So please ignore all old information and let's enjoy these. These were the season premiere of season 3 this last summer, so right in June, right when everything started. And we got 2 more Joe Takes Classics this coming month in April, and then we'll have a season finale on this one, and we'll talk about that then. But Joe Takes won't be back till June after that. So let's get started. I got 2 of them for you tonight. I got Vypra and I got Jinx, 2 femme fatales, plus clips for G.I. Joe Lady Bloodstrike in this movie, for that movie in these both these videos. So you're gonna get 2. There's a preamble and Act 1 scene. So I hope you enjoy. Let me pop out of here and get this set up and start. Layla, swamp silk and steel. Deep where the cypress roots twist like lies, she was raised on gator blood and fireflies. Folks say kin from Lafitte clan both ways. Some wore medals, she chose blade. Came up mean, came up fast, drove like a banshee, never looked back. No stars, no stripes, no kin she claimed, just a shadowed voice that whispered her name. Oh, Layla, they call her Vypra, but one voice says Layla. Silk on her hips, steel in her stride, cobra's own ghost with a crimson night guide. No oaths to break, no truth to kneel. She's the bite in the dark, swamp silk and steel. Silk. They say one uncle wore on her like war paint, but she saw weakness, she learned restraint. Joined the fangs just to spite the Lafitte name, then found her fire in cobra's flame. Layla, my blade, my shadow, strike not for glory, strike for command. Forget the blood, serve the will, become a ghost they fear to kill. Oh, Layla, they call her Vypra, but lady calls her Layla. Where's the silence like a serpent's skin? Cuts through truth with a widow's grin. You won't hear her coming, won't feel the steel until you're swallowed whole by swamp silk and steel. Layla, Vypra, swamp silk and steel.
he'll give you a heart attack. Then there's Duke, the leader, so bold, gung-ho, always ready to fight and make those cameos. And we can't forget about Scarlet, the ultimate girl power. A fierce warrior, she'll make her enemies cower. Cobra's got Destro to supply the weapons. Cobra commander plots and schemes. She ruling the world in his dreams. Sartan is never what he seems. And Baroness rocks that black leather outfit. Shoots you quick and slip out the back of the head. Yo, Joe, Cobra. Logan's here to give his G.I. Joe takes. Oh, yeah. Yo, Joe, Cobra. Talking about the characters, it's a G.I. Joe thing.
Mature content warning. On Logan's Joe Takes, strategic commentary may include strong language, heated opinions, classified references, time to call in the Joes. Opposing forces may attempt audio interference. Logan's Joe Takes. Mission begins now.
Hello, welcome tonight to Joe Takes 60. I'm covering the character Vypra tonight. I'm going to read my take on this character who's not that well known. A lot of people don't even know who Vypra is, and that's cool, but I'll explain why. Tonight is the first exclusive episode of Joe Takes on the G.I. Joe Gamer channel. I mean, down the line, I might rerun the video on From the Hilt or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows where we're going to take all this, but we're having a good time. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. We get some music jamming in the background because I don't like all the sound of my air conditioner and stuff going. As you can see, I am in a new locale in my home, so I'm no longer in the dungeon. We're up in the Hilt Fam studio now, I guess, is what we're going to call it. In the background, I'm going to say hi to my friends in the chat here. Hello, Nature Dog Realms, Mama Chris. It's always good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We got Just Laws in the house, my friend. We got lots to talk about for Just Laws tonight, so hang tight. And we got Cool Gamer in the house, and I start Mama Chris's other comment for it. But there you are, buddy. Good to see you, Cool Gamer. Nice to see everybody tonight. You got way too many good generations of one of my songs. I can't decide which you like best, so annoying. Well, the radio show is tomorrow night on From the Hilt, so please check us out there. Immediately following this show, I'm going to have to wrap this up in less than an hour, is the new show, Logan's Overwatch, specifically for the G.I. Joe Gamer channel. So hope you guys stick around for that. I've got two co-hosts who are going to be joining me, team members, as I'm going to call them, Victor Gibson and Brian from Gaming with ADHD. So please check that out. We got a Mouty in the house. Hello, Tigers. Good to see you. Oh, geez. It's a lecture for taking so long. No, Jess, I'm not going to give you a lecture. You got it right under the wire, and I'm glad I waited because it made everything really cool, and I hope everybody's going to enjoy that right near the end of the show. I am going to be playing the first part of G.I. Joe Lady Bloodstrike, which I'm going to be making over the course of the next 2 months, and in September, I will premiere the full movie. So you get to see the preamble tonight, the very first part. Well, it's Act 1, Scene 1 is next month with Jinx. This month is Vypra, who is the standout in this video. Just Lost saying hi to Tiger. Why doesn't Tiger have a wrench? You know what? I don't know why Tiger doesn't have a wrench. And I'll tell you why. Because Tiger doesn't really come over to the G.I. Joe Gamer channel very often. And it looks like Mama Chris needs a wrench too. So we will fix that right now. Does Cool Gamer have a wrench? No, Cool Gamer does not have a wrench. Guess what? You get a wrench, and you get a wrench, and you get a wrench. And there we are, all wrenched up. We're just all packing wrenches over here. No worries, no worries. Do not know. Maybe I'm not trustworthy. I think if anybody's more trustworthy, it's got to be my wife, Tiger. Thank you for being here, everybody. All right, let's get into this. And the way we start Joe Takes, I was laughing. Good to have you here. Good to have some good times and some laughs. We're going to take a look at this character here. I do not have any vintage figures. So what I'm going to do, this character didn't really have vintage figures. She kind of came out after the original 13-year run, like about 3 years after the run ended in 1994, 97 or 98. I'm not 100% sure which, but it's right around there. And she came out with this vehicle right here called the Cobra Rattler 4-wheel drive. And the reason why I love this picture is because this guy, what the F is going on here with Wild Weasel? Because Wild Weasel is the pilot of a Cobra plane called the Cobra Rattler. And so they brought out a vehicle and they called it Rattler, but it's a Jeep, not a plane. So I thought it was pretty funny. Now, Vypra herself originally looked like this. She was basically a Jinx figure, which we'll get into Jinx next month on Joe Takes. But Jinx is a pretty cool. She's Storm Shadow's cousin, and she's a ninja, and she's awesome. But Vypra is an incredible character, and I have some interesting ideas for her backstory, which I'll jump into a little bit later. Right now, we're going to look at the figure that I do have, and that is the Vypra figure from the Python Patrol in the Classified series, which I think is super sweet. She basically is a chemo. Right now, I'm not really remembering her name. It was a character that came out for the movie figures, and she was pretty cool. It's basically the same body with a different head sculpt, but same equipment, same weapons, and everything. But this character has this mask, and underneath she just looks like a ninja. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now I'll be playing her on Joe Takes video a little later to give you a better look at her and a better look at some of the other stuff. And I'll be playing her file card too. Jinx is one of your favorite Joes. Mine too. I like Jinx. She's my favorite lady Joe. I have a question that I should know the answer to by now. Is her head a skull or does she wear a mask? Well, I just answered that, isn't it? She has a different mask too. Yes, underneath her mask is another mask. How Naruto over her. But does she have a what mask? A fox face? No. That would be the blue ninja. A fox face. Tiger's asking me if she has a fox face. And I do have a character that has a fox face. It's a female blue ninja, which will be showcased in the next part of G.I. Joe Lady Blood Right, which will be in the Jinx video next month. I'll be filming that very short. Let me see here. I've got to make sure I got all the stuff I need. So load this one up too. I almost forgot about it. Let's see. Okay, Karan Cobra then. Yes. That's okay. No, that's cool. No, this character here though. I thought the Blue Ninja, which was the same body, same everything, same accessories. So it's like the third character they brought out. Same figure, same accessories, just repainted. But I think Vypra with the Python Patrol motif is just the red, the gold, and the black. It's just really awesome. And I don't know about you guys, but and maybe in the video for her, the On Joe Takes, you'll see it better. But that there on her skull, painted on there, that's the Eye of Sauron. I don't know what they were thinking. Could be a beholder, but it looks like, I know it's supposed to represent her third eye. But it's pretty cool because this character has ninja training too. So they're all ninjas. Now, we're going to check out the box for this character. This is what she came in as, member of the Python Patrol. Now, I like this character a lot. And so when I was writing the script for the new Lady Blood Right movie, that it's a play mode. It's just us playing with our toys basically, but we're having a good time. But the artwork for her on this was just incredible. And on the back, it shows you her accessories, which she's number 88 in the series. Right there. Now, in these boxes, I really liked it. When they went back to the window packaging, they didn't do this anymore. But these boxes came with a foot locker that had the name of the character and the number and the series of the character. If I have this, 88. I don't think it really matters upside down, right side up. But then it has a Cobra symbol on the side. What it does is you pop open the box, and it has all her accessories in there. I've got them out on the character. We're gonna take a look at them. We're gonna pull her swords out with a bow, and I'll show you some of the cool stuff, some of the cool features it has. There's the art on the side of the box in black and white, and I really love this. These ones, you just put the figure back in the box and you slide it back in and you hang it on the wall and it's all set up. I mean, sometimes the window packaging is nice, but I kind of like that too. So it was good stuff. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys, I like 8 songs that were practiced for tonight. They are almost total nonsense, except some of it makes sense. And it's really scary stuff. I thought I was going insane. Well, we'll have to check it out, Jess. Not anything I put into the prompts in the lyrics. Yeah, I gone mad. It happens. It happens. So let's break down her accessories. We'll start with this really cool skull mask that she comes with. I mean, like I said, I saw her on. I love it. It looks just like a leather strap or elastic strap that goes around her head, and it's just black on the inside. It's kind of cool. Let's see. The mask is so creepy. I wonder if it's made from a real skull. You know, that's what it looks like. It really does. So it's somebody she killed that she really probably hated. Now there was cussing and talking demons and souls. I think Pseudo is possessed. Maybe today they are. All right, so let's break it down. We got the bow, which is pretty cool. I'll get into that in a second. But let's take her backpack off. Now this is a remake of Storm Shadow's backpack. Now I don't really care for this design because it puts the swords in the wrong position for the bows unless the character is left-handed. If the character's left-handed, it's all good. But if she wants to reach for the arrows, they got to be over here. And if she's left-handed, then she's got to pull the swords out. Weird. But if she's right-handed, all this goes like this. And it really is not very functional in reality. But it's a cool-looking toy, and it holds all the accessories. It's got, you got your ninja toe for the short sword, and then you've got your katana that just slide right in there. They stick in there really good, so it's kind of cool they don't fall out. All right, now what's really cool about this is it's got the Rashikage symbol on there, which means they're saying she has a Rashikage ninja training, which it's hard to grasp in the concept of the G.I. Joe universe because Rashikage doesn't exist anymore. It didn't, supposedly, when she learned her ninja skills. Mostly she was trained by the Baroness, but the Baroness is rumored to have been trained by Storm Shadow in many iterations. But one of the arrows just slides right out, and it slides right back in, and it is almost not noticeable that it's a separate piece, which I thought was really cool. Maybe she's ambidextrous. I like that. I like that version, Jess. I think she's left-handed, but that's me. Maybe she stole it. Maybe she did steal it. Now, in order for her to steal it, she would have had to kill an Arashikage. But all the remaining surviving Arashikage members are still alive, with the exception. I mean, they haven't been killed yet. But what I wanted to show you with the bow is pretty cool. Let's see. I'm using the wrong word. Don't worry. Now with the bow, this particular accessory has this. It's like I said, it's set up. The artwork is backwards because it's set up for a left-handed use because the bow, the grip is here at the top where they show on the box art. You got the box art. They got the box art where the grip is at the bottom. But if that's the case, and you want the arrow on the right side, it has to be set up left-handed. I almost set it backwards myself, but there it is, and it just sits right on there. And the cool thing is, you can actually set it up to where it's right over here on the bow, and it goes right onto the string. So that's pretty good. It doesn't do it. You got to put it on there, but yeah, there's no clip for it or anything, but it's pretty cool. You can actually make it look like she is firing an arrow, which I thought was pretty interesting for just a toy. Okay, yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe the skull came from one of the Arashikage. That's an interesting idea. Heavy, those Arashikage things are in Neverwinter Nights. I think that's a different terminology, Jess, but maybe you're right. Who knows? Rashikage was something that was created by Larry Hama, the writer of the Marvel G.I. Joe comic series, which is what I base most of my stories off of, and kind of add to that universe if I can, you know, my own personal Joe verse. When it's Larry Hama, I call it the Hama verse. Now, see, what I like to do is just put these accessories, so I don't lose any, back in the foot locker, which is kind of cool. Well, what's happening now? That's the figure of Vypra that I have. Like I said, there was one that came out in '97, and they came up with a couple of others in the early 2000s, and where they came out with one more in the 2000s, and then they came out with one for the Collectors Club exclusive, but we're talking in the smaller size. The first two were 3 3/4 inch. The third one was a 4-inch figure, and then this is a 6-inch figure, but I'm not sure if it's exactly 6 inches because it's shorter than a lot of other ones. And for comparison, I've got the biggest Joe of them all right here, Gung Ho. I mean, there's nobody taller than Gung Ho, really. Just is a massive figure. Well, they've made bigger figures since then, but he's still pretty tall for a G.I. Joe. It was the first one that they made in the right scale as far as to the other characters, which was really cool. Well, there's another reason I have him out here, because we got to get into the character here. In order to do that, I'm going to play her file card that I put together for you, so you can check that out. So let's turn this music off, and let's jump into codename Vypra.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. It's a Cobra. Code name Vypra.
A rattler, Jeep driver, file name, Anaconda birthplace, New Orleans, Louisiana, primary specialty, intelligence, secondary specialty. Martial arts, Vypra was born in New Orleans, but was raised in the backwoods and swamps of Louisiana. She grew up mean, nasty, and uncontrollable. She would have enlisted in the military, but regarded soldiers as wimps. She finally signed up with Cobra, liking both the name and the attitude of the organization. She rose astonishingly fast through the ranks and proved herself as someone not to be underestimated. Although her primary specialty is as driver of the Rattler 4-wheel drive, she doesn't need to be behind the wheel of a Cobra vehicle to be a threat to the G.I. Joe. She's just as effective all by herself, and even purportedly has ninja training. How'd that happen? From General Hawk's files. Where does Cobra find people like this? Vypra looks small and slight, but she drives the Rattler like she's in a monster truck show. The only thing more dangerous than her driving skills are her fighting techniques. She's one of the nastier threats to come out of Cobra's rank and files in recent years. Y'all see that? I've got more. Inventions made to set him apart. We're Cobra crawling through the night.
Just says that's a Lonely Island song. I like it. I thought it was pretty cool. She just is a neat character. I loved her file card, and like I said, a little bit of her background. But before we do that, I'm going to play the other video her on Joe Takes, so you can get a better look at the figure and some of the images for the character too. No, just all. That's right. That's going to be that was in the file card with all the images of the character. Now here's the on Joe Takes, so you can see what the character really looks like, because it's a pretty cool. Oh wow, that's the wrong one. So I'm going to have to take the time to reload that video, and what I'm going to do for you is just talk about the character here. we got here? Sort of, it's a Saturday Night Live digital short. Cool. Yeah, I loaded up for the love of comics for some reason, which is kind of cool because I have a special missions. I have part 2 that's out already, which I hope you guys enjoyed the first 2 parts of that for the love of comics special G.I. Joe special missions, which is on both channels. Okay, character Gung Ho, and the reason why I have him out. Well, they say that she's from the swamps in Louisiana. He's from the swamps in Louisiana. They say she comes from a clan in the swamps of Louisiana. He comes from a clan in the swamps of Louisiana. That's quite a coincidence. So I'm saying they come from the same ninja clan. I'm sorry, not ninja clan, swamp or Cajun clan. Now he has over 400 family members in his clan. So I'm saying she calls him her uncle, but she never liked him. And he never really paid her much attention because he was off. She was just a little girl, when she was growing up, and he was in the military already and gone and a Marine and doing his thing with the G.I. Joe team. Now, so when Vypra came up and around, her uncle Etienne was not around. He was just not where, like maybe when she was little, maybe he was around and talked to her and played with her, like family does, and the Lafitte clan, there is one episode of the G.I. Joe Sunbow cartoon where Cobra took the G.I. Joe's families and they made a big deal out of it. There was one last name on the list that they hadn't gone to yet, and that was Gung Ho's family. But when they went into the swamps to get Gung Ho's family, coincidentally, it was the Baroness who did that. She had to flee because they just ruled the Cobras. They just kicked their butts. It was a really cool episode. Now, I'm saying that's kind of the origins of where Layla comes from, or Anaconda is the name they give her on her file card, but I think that's an alias because her name is Anna A. Conda, and it comes out to Anaconda, which is kind of dumb. But it's kind of fun, too, and they tried to, do as cool as Larry Hama did when they made her file card, but clearly he was not writing the file cards anymore by that point. Not heard from Ray for a while. He probably should have been home a few hours ago. That's not good. Well, I hope he's okay, but you'll think about it that later. Okay, I hope yes, we'll give him a call, Jess. Maybe he just needs to, maybe he's off doing something. Maybe you never know. I saw his video. Regina put out a new video recently of Maisie the cat. It was pretty cool. So I'm thinking that when she was fleeing the Cobras, she ran into Layla. Layla, disillusioned with the entire clan, her life, ran into this powerful Cobra agent. Even though she had to flee, she was one woman still standing up to 400 family member clan of Cajuns. Like this. And he wasn't the biggest one when he went home. So it's kind of cool. Very, very cool episode. Captains of Cobra. It's a 2-parter in the Sunbow cartoon. Check it out. Now, later on, they had a character in Worlds Without End. Another 2-parter in a different universe where the Baroness had a Cobra officer that was her number 2. A female Cobra officer, a blonde female Cobra officer, she called Layla. And that's where I get the idea of Layla. Now, later on, and I've got images of that right here to show you Layla. This was Layla in Worlds Without End. And here's another image of her up close. And to me, that is Vypra. Now, let's see, I've got another image I can bring up here. Got to get her file card folder. And I had meant to do this up too. There was another episode where the Baroness took over Cobra because she had this spell of the siren. That's the name of the episode. She had the conch shell. She blew into like the siren, and men's minds would be jelly to her. She could dominate them. And she took over Cobra. She was starting to take over G.I. Joe. She had most of the Joes were her servants. And they had a bunch of female Joes. Lady J and Scarlet and CoverGirl got together to stop Cobra in that episode. It's a fun ladies episode, and I love those. I don't know if some of my favorites. But in that, there again, around the Baroness, you see these blonde female Cobra officers. There were two of them, little Cobra troopers. And so to me, there's Layla again. It's an interesting coincidence to me, but I turned it not into a coincidence. I'm saying that was Layla as she was going up to the ranks in Cobra. So she was there to me the whole time, throughout the whole cartoon series and everything, being trained by the Barons until she became Vypra. Which I think Vypra is a kick-ass character, and I hope you guys like her too. Now that is my take on Vypra. Now I do have this other video to show you, and I have to cut things short tonight because I have Overwatch next. But let me see. Well, there was a short he put out yesterday. There was a dog someone brought into CES. It was like 600 views in less than an hour. He said that that has never happened. It's been happening to me a lot lately too, Jess. So congrats to Houdini. Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, I agree with you. So, Gung-Ho, Uncle Gung-Ho, Uncle Etienne, whether she's jealous, just hateful, or spurned, who knows? With a clan like that, how are they marrying outside the clan? I mean, maybe she had a thing for her, the older clan member. I don't know. Either way, I know that she don't like Gung-Ho, and she joined Cobra. Tiger, are you still here? Whoever is in here, you will chat. Well, Tiger's around, but they brought me some food that I haven't had a chance to eat yet. There you are. Yeah. All right, so on that note, that's my take on Vypra. I hope you enjoyed that. Not a lot. There's not a lot of media other than that for Vypra. And I had to add to it and pull in some things from the lore and give my own version of it. Now, other than that, I don't think she may have been in some of the other comics that I'm not familiar with, but in the Laird Hamaverse, I don't think she was ever in it. He may have used her in some of the later IDWs that I missed, but I don't think so. So this is my take on Vypra, and I hope you enjoy this preamble for G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright that I have coming up for you. And I'm about to play it. Let me see what I got going on here. If I need to play anything else. Oh, yes. Okay, before I do that, I will play the On Joe Take 60 so you can get a good look at the character. And then we'll check out the preamble. So here is On Joe Take 60. If I can get the music off here and we'll get it going.
Layla, Layla, swamp silk and steel. Deep where the cypress roots twist like lies, she was raised on gator blood and fireflies. Folks say kin from Lafitte clan both ways. Some wore medals, she chose blade. Came up mean, came up fast, drove like a banshee, never looked back. No stars, no stripes, no kin she claimed, just a shadow voice that whispered her name. Oh, Layla, they call her Vypra, but one voice says Layla. Silk on her hips, steel in her stride. Cobra's own ghost with a crimson night guide. No oaths to break, no truth to kneel. She's the bite in the dark, swamp silk and steel. Silk, back. They say one uncle wore on her like war paint, but she saw weakness, she learned restraint. Joined the fangs just to spite the Lafitte name, then found her fire in Cobra's flame. Layla, my blade, my shadow, strike not for glory, strike for command. Forget the blood, as the silence like a serpent's skin cuts through truth with a widow's grin. You won't hear her coming, won't feel the steel until you're swallowed whole by swamp, silk, and steel. Layla, Vypra, swamp, silk, and steel.
Yellow eyes. Yes, she has yellow eyes. I don't know if you can really see it that well, but one last look at the character of the figure of Vypra. I think it's a really good one. Hope you guys enjoyed my take on Vypra. It's time for that preamble. Hope you guys enjoy this. It's taken some work to get this done, and I want to thank Jess Laws for the voices she's done. Who's done some voices in this. My family, Tiger played a big part. Jake and Red did voices also, and I just appreciate my whole family for all of that they've been putting up with me the last few days. And so thank you everybody, and I hope you enjoy the results of Lady Bloodstripe, the preamble. Let's get into it.
The gang's all here. Well, most of us anyhow. What's this all about, Blood?
I'm as in the dark as you are, and that's major. To you?
Fuffed, get over yourself.
Not someone you want to be messing with, Bass.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Clearly someone who has no idea who they're talking to. Both of these two could squash you like a bug, Major. And by the by, last I remember, we four were given the rank of commander in this chicken shit organization, making us equals.
Harumps? Equals?
Somebody's got uppity breeches.
Don't touch me, gutter snipe.
You say one more harsh word to my sister.
Pause on. Biker trash.
That will be quite enough of that.
Aha, snatched.
Destro.
It is time. Everyone stand at attention for the new Cobra leader. New leader?
Ugh. Maybe we need to call you a ambulance.
When the crown is cracked, the vipers arrive. When the hind spreads in dancing bride, fussing got a fox inside and marching.
Four Eyes thinks she's the new
Is
commander.
this a joke?
Silence!
Crimson shadows rise in silence. We are the war beneath your skin. Strike from the throne of broken tyrants. The crown belongs to Crimson Blood and sand, loyalty fades.
Cobra Commander is finished. We have searched the globe and found not even a trace. I believe that he is no longer of this world. Therefore, I am seizing control of everything and assuming command.
Shouldn't Night Adder step into this role or Destro? You don't exactly have the authority, woman.
Night Adder has stepped back into the shadows, as he always does.
To recruit and build up the army again.
Tomax, Zamot, what say you?
We have pledged our loyalty to the Baroness.
Oh, really?
I go where the money goes.
Indeed. We do not have the time for posturing, and I do not have the patience nor even the desire to lead this rabble. Therefore, the Baroness is your only choice.
She doesn't have the balls for this job.
Do you wish to challenge my authority, Big Boa?
What?
All will bow before me!
Stick with the Baroness for now, sister. We still need this contract.
What about you?
There's something I need to do. Lead my dreadnoks for me.
Suits me fine.
I knew that it would.
I said, kneel before me!
Like hell. I accept the challenge.
A foolish mistake.
What are you gonna do, honey? Out.
Does anyone else wish to challenge me? And you lot?
Do we get the same deal as before?
I'm certain that we can come to an even better arrangement, seeing as how Zartan has opted out.
Oh, don't worry about him. You heard the lady. Bow. You worthless sons of whores.
That's Lady Commander now. Your queen!
Long live the queen!
It is time to crush G.I. Joe. We will run them to the ground and chase them back to their holes. They will pay for what they've done to our former commander. You know what to do, Layla.
Yes, my queen. As you wish.
We're being called to the Pentagon. Something big is happening, so I want you to call everyone in. Active protocol, barn door.
Barn door? That protocol requires at least one brigade officer.
Easy solution, Flint. I'm making you an acting major.
I told you that I wanted to remain in the field.
You're the best man for the job. Major.
Look at it this way, Flint. You're just keeping Hawk's seat warm while we're gone. Beachhead. Keep things running for me.
Naturally. What now, Major? Shut up. Got it, sir. Anyway, I meant what's the barn door protocol? It means we're officially on lockdown. Shit. Shit is right. Call everyone back to their respective posts. What about Ninja Force and the Sarge? They're on radio silence. Yeah, I'll send Falcon and his team to collect them. Night Force is a good choice, but that means we'll need to leave Outpost Victor Bravo and the airbase at Alpha Lima active until they check in. That's going to put a big red X on Leatherneck and Airborne's team. We'll give them a heads up. They're going to need a bit more than that. I have just the team for such a mission. Yeah, but they've been itching for one last ride as a team anyhow. Alpha Squad, roll call. Scarlet, officer in charge. Stalker, platoon sergeant, team leader. Snake Eyes, badass. Rock and roll, guns a-blazing. Front, a rail officer. Clutch, driver, and all-around pain in the ass. Gung-ho. You're supposed to be on guard duty. What? And miss a fight? Not to mention my cameo. Okay. Okay? I said okay. Leatherneck and Airborne are going to need all the help that they can get. All right then, gung-ho cameo Joe. Looks like you're joining the Alpha Dogs for their last ride. Oh,
goody.
Suits us just fine.
Outstanding.
And that was the preamble to G.I. Joe Lady Bloodstrike. Now, there's going to be one part in each Joe Take. Next month, we'll kick it off with Jinx, the Joe Take 61. And then every week in July and August, there'll be another part. So it's going to be 10 parts in a row, so a total of 11 there. And then there's going to be a finale on an episode of Logan's Overwatch coming up in September. And then also in September, if I can, I will put it together into a full feature movie and play it on From the Hilt first, and then over on Logan the G.I. Joe Gamer channel. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun doing it. Like I said, thanks Jess, thanks Per, thanks Red and Jake, and thanks to my wife, the Tiger, who did the voice of the Baroness. I really appreciate everybody's help on that. And next up is in about 15 minutes is going to be Logan's Overwatch. Victor's going to be joining me for that. Hello, Victor. It's good to see you, buddy. Bro, I hope we have a good show tonight. And on that note, I got to say Logan out.
Logan's room full of Joe Take dreams. Crimson Guard with eyes on the team. Snake Eyes silent and mean, but tough to rile. Roadblock rhymes and cooks with style. Duke as the first shirt, making with a plan. Cobra Commander schemes with his clan. Scarlet Sharp hits hard, flips fast. Destro's armor gleams from the past. Logan G.I. Joe takes fierce and honest view. Red versus blue, it's up to you. Stay a while and listen for the consumerism. Logan's G.I. Joe's takes given with enthusiasm. Sergeant shifting sneaks in disguise. Storm Shadow's blade cut through lies. Baron is cold with her deadly aim. Shipwreck laughs, wins the game. Doc's healing hand in the fray. Flint shotgun clears the way. Major Blood's battle cry echoes near. General Hawk leads, we cheer. From the hilt on YouTube, tune in for a day. Joe takes to help you with your play. Let's put these characters to the test. Logan's the G.I. Joe gamer, plays it best.
Unspoken pain, the silence before the strike. I walk through shadows, names carved in stone, echoes of brothers who lie under stone. A whisper of duty, a breath held in pain, their ghost in the silence calling my name. They took my ninja brethren, leaving nothing but my wrath, the blood and bone of the ninjas. From Lily's fire to Arashikagi's flame, I was born with silence carved in my name. Red blades in mourning, blue steel tears, a life of service, a soul with no fear. Kamakura, nunchuck, quick kick, gone. Two were my brothers, one my bond. They stood with me, now I stand for them. No signal out, no help to send. Just a blade, a vow, and a mission.
Yo, Joe, listen up, I got a story to tell about a guy named Logan. Oh, he's so swell, he's the G.I.
Logan's Joe Takes. Mission begins now.
Greetings, I am Logan, the G.I. Joe Gamer. Welcome to Logan's Joe Takes. This is Joe Takes 61, and this is going to be Jinx from the Hilt. Hope you guys like ninjas, because that's kind of the theme tonight. She is the original G.I. Joe ninja. I know Snake Eyes was a ninja before she was. However, Snake Eyes was never listed as a ninja until much later in the line. He was always the G.I. Joe Commando, which, as far as I know, he's the only G.I. Joe Commando. There are other ones in other, like international lines and stuff that were listed as commandos. And then there was one other figure that had the title Commando, and that was Shipwreck had a Naval Commando for the Rise of Cobra movie figure that he had, which was pretty cool. All right, so we're talking Jinx tonight. So we start like we always do with the original figure. This is the 1987 Jinx. She originally had that dragon symbol on her chest right here, but my paint has worn off considerably. She used to have red fingernails that we were painted red, but most of the flesh paint is coming off, so it looks like she's got bits of red all over the place, like she's cut her hands in a lot of places. It's kind of cool. Now, she did come with this staff. Oh man, there's a term for it. It's a metal iron shod staff. But this one actually has blades on it, so this is actually a type of pole arm. And then she came with two swords like this. I have lost my other sword, but I do still have the one. And they both went right into this backpack and would fit right down in there. Sword group. And so you'd have to just slide it right in there and get it in there correctly, which I'm not doing, of course. All right, so, and that was what Jinx came with accessory wise. Now, this is an original O-ring figure, so it was back in the day. Mine has a damaged crotch piece, but that happened a lot. I played with this figure a lot, but she had these little slipper on her feet. I like that. I always did. This particular character, I always loved her mask. And they had red ninjas in Cobra, and I always thought it was weird that she had a red outfit, but she always looked really good. And I really, really like this character. As far as the female Joes, she's my favorite. I do like all the others. Don't get me wrong. I missing a sword, but I ended up with an extra staff. I don't know why. My brother probably had one, so there it is. I have two of those. Now, they didn't have any other Jinx figures in the original vintage line. However, when they came out again in the early 2000s. In 2004, they came out with a few. They came in 2003. They came out with a Tiger Force Jinx, but I'm pretty sure that was part of a convention exclusive. Now she was like green with orange tiger stripes. Really cool looking figure. Same one though. It was just a repaint of this, as far as I know. That's what it looks like. I've only seen images of it, but yeah, it would be a cool figure to have. But in 2004, they came out with this Valor versus Venom Jinx. Now she had 2 swords, 1 sheath. It was kind of weird. She had 2 swords, 1 sheath, and I've misplaced those. I have so many accessories put in an accessories bin that I couldn't find it. Now, this is the type of gun she had, but hers is supposed to be like a grayish, according to Yojo.com. Although, I don't have another gun this color, so I'm pretty sure she came with this black one. But this design is kind of petite, even compared to the other 3 3/4 inch figures. I mean, let me put them side by side, and you can see what I mean. Very, very dainty. She came with a blindfold too, but I went and Frankenstein the figure for my 25th anniversary line, and I have misplaced her blindfold because I used it for that. So she had a red blindfold that would actually, you could put over her eyes like she did in G.I. Joe, the movie, the animated movie, which was really cool. Oh, she also came with one of those gauntlets, is what they call them. And these were their G.I. Joe secure communications, which was pretty cool. That was an interesting idea. I ended up with about 30 of those, but you know, it is what it is. Now they have the Joe Pros on the classified, which I really like. Now, they came out with, those were the only 3 vintage, technically vintage Joes in the O-ring style, I should say, that they came out with. The Tiger Force 1, this, and these 2. They came out with like 4 in the 25th anniversary line. I only have the one that came out for the Retaliation, G.I. Joe Retaliation movie, and it's pretty cool. I like the yellow and black. I mean, I wish I had one that was all black, but they never made a Jinx that was all black. And I'll tell you why I wish I had one in black when we get into talking about the character and stuff. But now if I can get this back on the battle stand, that would be wonderful. Her staff is the same, but it's a bit longer, bigger, as you can see. But it's the same style, and it's black. I like the fact that it was black. That's pretty cool. And she came with these 2 swords, both katanas, and it's one little backpack with both sheaths attached together. They like to do that, and that was a cool idea. I like that. So she has 2 katanas. Now, I put the Jinx label on her battle stand that she came with. It's sort of like a dog tag. They had that idea going on with the Rise of Cobra figures, but they didn't really continue it. And for a while, they didn't even come with battle stands. And like the classified, they don't come with battle stands at all. Now, this particular figure also came with a couple of axes that they snap together. There's a little peg on each one where you can snap them together like that, and she can actually fight like she has 2 blades. It's kind of cool. And so there you go. And she also came with this little key device that you could put around her hand, and she could grip it through there. Now, she couldn't grip this handle unless she did it this way, which is what it looks like you're supposed to do, but you're not, because this part right here actually fits into this. Now, it's not really a backpack. It's kind of like just a case that she has that she came with that she could go around. And the idea was that this was the key that unlocks this. Now, what this does, if I can do this right, but I'm not going to do this with this because you don't need to. All you have to do is push it down, and this pops open. And inside, she has a bunch of weapons. She's got some sai in there. She's got some hooks and some. But then I thought there would be sickles and stuff in there. But the other thing is this thing right here pops up, and there's like a repelling line that comes out, and there's a zip cord on it. That's really cool. and this thing pops out, and you can actually have her zip line around. And this just rolls right back up on there, as you can see, zip, which would be really cool. For a toy in the the late the early 2000s, 2012, 2013 is when this figure came out. For the Retaliation movie, like I said, this was a pretty interesting idea, but my problem with it is the whole it just doesn't wind up very well, and you have to really work at it to get it wound back up. And once you get it going, it's okay, but then you have to make sure it's tight and put this back in here. For kids, great idea, but for an adult collector, it's kind of like, okay, that's fine, that's fun. But I like the zip line part, and I do like the fact that all these little accessories can pop out of there, but I'm not going to do that because my big old hands might break something. But then it just closes back up, and you just make sure everything's put together back there, and you snap it back into place. And she's got a little case here. And like I said, the key is supposed to pop in there and push everything open, and it does, but you don't need it. You just have to push this down. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. It would have been cooler if you had to use the key to open it up, but I'm in a way, I'm kind of glad you don't, because then it makes it easier for me to pop it open and show you. All right. Now that's going to take us to the current classified figure. Now in the modern line, they did not have a Jinx that came out with the regular release figures. They were all like exclusives and collectors club and things like that. Like I said, there were 3 others, and they had a red one and a white one, and but none of them were black like they should have been. I mean, I don't understand why. I like the fact that she's got a red outfit. It makes her stand out. But yeah, she came in a box like this. She is number 124 in the line. And there, you can scan that if you want. I don't know how those work very well. Then you got the back of the box showing off some of the things that she comes with. And I will show you all that stuff. She did not come with one of those batons back there, which the new Super 7 does. That's coming out. The Joe Fest. If you've seen any of the images from that, it looks pretty cool. But I love the artwork on the side of this box. Very cool. Inspired me to do a lot of cool stuff. And if you watch that video at the beginning on Joe Takes, I featured this a lot in that. Okay, so that's going to take us to the classified figure. Now, this is an impressive update. Now, if you take it and look at the original, I mean, it's a pretty spot on transfer over, except they instead of having her feet open at the bottom like this, they have her feet covered with proper foot gear, which is a good thing. Then she's not wearing sleeves on the classified, as you can see. She does have that original dragon symbol on her chest, which is awesome. But then she also has these badass tats, which I really enjoy. Now, she does have a sword, which all your Ashikage got a sword once they, that's kind of the deal. You get a sword when you graduate, and she's one of the royalty, as it were, in this particular ninja clan. So naturally, she got a very fine katana. And oh yeah, on that I wanted to show you is on this modern figure from the Retaliation line. If you take off the backpack, she has an Arashikage symbol on her back. I thought that was interesting. Oh, and she's got the articulation there in the center. I thought this was a really cool figure. Oh, I dropped that. But some of the articulation on the 25th anniversary modern line wasn't all that great. The hands did not grip very well on this figure. So there were certain aspects that I didn't care for. But let's get back into this classified figure, which is incredible. This is also the star of my current G.I. Joe Lady Blood Right movie that I'm making, and I have a part that I will show you at the end of this episode that features Jinx. Basically, I have the preamble that you can watch on Logan's Overwatch #1. You can watch it on Joe Takes 60 with Vypra. And on the From the Hilt, you can watch it on the 1,000 subscriber special. So check that out. Now, you can still watch the first part of this on Logan's Overwatch 2, which we did last week. We had both my co-hosts had issues last week, and so it was just me and the tiger, which was kind of fun, and I enjoyed talking to the tiger. Now, she's got this headband here that she's supposed to use as a blindfold. But for me, it works so much better as a headband. But there you go. You're supposed to be able to, because she's supposed to be a blind master. She can fight blind. But and she's supposed to be able to fight better blind according to the movie, which I thought was interesting. Now, as you'll see tonight, she gets this in a unique way in my movie. So, and unlike other classified figures, Jinx actually has a butt. we have Joe Butt for the Tigers, so we got to have Joe Butt for the guys. So Baroness doesn't have a butt. I mean, a lot of these newer female figures just don't for some reason sculpt the butt, and Jinx has a butt, which I like. I love the little tassels on her belt and the little sash she's got going on there. And that's Jinx. Now, I'm going to show you some of the other features that she came with. I'm going to pop the head off here real quick. We got somebody in the comments. How's it going tonight? We've got the Mandalorian fan channel. Well, welcome, Mandalorian fan channel. Are you getting the Battle Armor Cobra Commander classified figure? I thought it looks cool. Yes, I do intend to get that. That was one of the better Cobra Commanders they put out. Of course, my favorite was the hooded Cobra Commander, and then the helmeted Cobra Commander. You got to have both of those. But the Battle Armor Cobra Commander is incredible. It's like the file card for that is awesome. It's like it costs about as much as a jet fighter to make that armor, and so that's why they only have one or two, because he had two in the comic book. So, but yeah, I do intend to get that armored classified figure. Now let me pop on this. Like I said, she has this necklace that she comes with, and you got to be careful to keep it on there. It's like from the G.I. Joe the movie, the animated movie, she had a necklace there. You snap it on, and then she's got her red mask. And I like, they show, instead of like on the original, it was all red, but that's the way they translated that because of the way they had to make figures back then. But now she's got, she only has the mask over her head, and you can see her neck. And I love the fact that they show her bare arms with the sleeves and the tat. I love the tattoo. That's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Now you can see it better, the tattoo better on the box, unfortunately. So on my On Joe Takes, you can see it really well. I got a pretty good close up of it, but that's the tattoo. But I love this character, Jinx. She's awesome. And this staff is badass. Now, if you take the blindfold on this, it looks better on this, but then she's got these tassels already on here, which is awesome. You keep having hoping someday Hasbro makes the Cyborg Blue Ninjas from. I hope so too, dude. That was a cool storyline in the comic book. The Cyber Blue Ninjas, they were awesome. I'm not gonna pop her hands in and out, but she also comes with fighting fists that you can swap in and out for her regular gripping hands and with trigger fingers, so she can actually use a gun still. And which, like I said, one of the Jinx figures came with a gun. So, but that's the G.I. Joe classified Jinx. I'll probably take a look at it again before the end of Joe Takes here tonight. But that's going to take us to who Jinx is as a character. Now, I could sit here and read the file card, but I find that to be a little boring. So I've put together a file card video for you that basically reads the file card for us. So here is Jinx file card, FTH from the Hilt, code name Jinx. And this is my updated version, so it's got some pretty cool new stuff in it.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. Yo, Joe. Code name, Jinx, Arashikage Ninja. File name, Kimi Arashikage. Grade, E5. Sergeant U.S. Army. Birthplace, Los Angeles, California. Primary specialty, intelligence. Secondary specialty, finance clerk. Qualified expert, M14, M16, M1911, A1. Graduated Bryn Mawr. Jinx studied and competed in 3 forms of martial arts from the time she was 7 until she graduated from Bryn Mawr. Upon arriving in Japan for a vacation, she discovered that her family had been ninjas for generations, and she was officially initiated into the Arashikage clan and trained as a kunoichi by the blind master. Eventually, Snake Eyes took her as an apprentice and convinced her to bring her skills to the G.I. Joe team, where she earned the nickname Jinx after putting the whammy on Cobra. To compensate for her diminutive stature, she also excels in infiltration and covert ops. She can bypass enemy listening posts, slip through their outer perimeter wire, worm her way past the sentries, avoid the infrared sensors, penetrate their command bunker, capture digital imagery of battle plans, and escape without ever being detected. From General Hawk's file. Don't underestimate Jinx. She has been to the secret mountain and studied the 7 silent forms with the blind master. She has the eye that pierces, the iron hand, and the heart that waits. In her own words, I can see through the enemy's deception, batter aside their strongest defenses, and overpower them with the strength of my will.
The keenest eye is that which looks inward.
That was her file card, which I took some liberties with and added some stuff to. But so it wasn't word for word from the file card, but you can pause that file card moment and read the file card if you want. But you can find that file card on yojo.com and a lot of different places. So check that out if you want to. So as far as the comic book is concerned, Jinx first appeared in G.I. Joe 59, which I've got set up right here. I do have the entire Marvel Comics run, but not in the original. I have most of the original comics. I think I'm missing like 15 or 16, but I do have the hardback books now. You take it easy, Mandalorian fan. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Now, this also was the first appearance of a bunch of characters like Raptor, the Armored Cobra Commander was in here. Outback and Tunnel Rat. Now, that might not necessarily have been the first appearance of all these characters, but it was Tunnel Rat and Outback, and that's why they're featured heavily on this cover. And the Cobra Pogo was in here, and the Slam, this is a really awesome cover. It just doesn't feature Jinx, but it was the first issue that she was in, so I'm not surprised that it didn't. Now, this here is Special Missions 24, where the G.I. Joe ladies, Cover Girl, Jinx, Scarlet, and Lady J went undercover. And Cobra was trying to mind control the president at the time. And this particular issue of Special Missions, I'm pretty sure is the only one not written by Larry Hama. I'm pretty sure it was written by Herb Trimpe, or Herb Trimp, however you want to pronounce it, the original artist from G.I. Joe #1. Yeah. And he wrote also G.I. Joe #8. So there they are right there, all 4 of the ladies, if I can go the right direction and show you. So, yeah, you've got Lady J. You got Lady J, Scarlet, Jinx, and Cover Girl all there together. And, yeah, Hawk had them going undercover as, like, cheerleaders. And none of them were happy about that. But it was a pretty cool issue. And it turned out that Hawk was right. And they needed to be right where they were, because they saved the day. Had some really cool stuff with this one. Now, special missions, like I think it was 11, featured Jinx as well. It was pretty cool. But they like to pair the ladies up a lot, and I like that. Now, before I show some of these other ones, I'm going to look at some covers and show you some covers because I love GI Joe covers. So there's that issue 59. If you want a better look at it, I found a really decent scan of it that somebody did. And before I can continue, and then the Special Missions 24, way better looking cover. So you can get a good look at it. Now, the next story actually starts here. This is G.I. Joe 21, and this is Silent Interlude. Now, Silent Interlude is the very first silent comic, as far as I know, where it just has special effects, no dialogue whatsoever, and that's what they mean by silent comic. Nobody speaks in the comic. No thought bubbles, none of that. It's just all action and sound effects. Pow, pew pew, and things of that nature. Pew pew. This was. But it continued basically that kind of feel into G.I. Joe 85, which stars Storm Shadow. However, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I have that issue, and on the first page, you got Jinx, and it's SFX is the name of the issue, and it's all, like I said, it's just all silent dialogue. I do have G.I. Joe 21, but not the original anymore. I sold my original copy. I wish I hadn't, but I did. But I've got some from comic figure packs. So yeah, so Jinx is prominently featured in this issue, if I go the right way again, and she gets attacked by some Cobra ninjas being led by Zartan, who was trying to prevent Storm Shadow from killing him because Storm Shadow had figured out that Zartan had killed the Hard Master. But he was ordered to do it by Cobra, and Storm Shadow had decided that vengeance wasn't the proper path and was actually trying to turn over a new leaf, and he actually was about to join G.I. Joe. In fact, by this point, I think he already had joined G.I. Joe. But like I said, there's no dialogue boxes in here, and this is all just effects, all just sound effects, like the phone ringing and all that. And I'm making a point of this because the part of my G.I. Joe movie that I'm going to show tonight is called Silent Observance, and it's my tribute to Larry Hama and silent comics. It has no dialogue. It has music at the beginning and music at the end, and music all throughout, but it also only has sound effects throughout the entire storyline that I'm going to present tonight. So that's where this comes from. This is I should have got up one of my silent interludes, but as you can see, like I said, it started here, and this was a story where Storm Shadow kidnapped Scarlet, and then Snake Eyes went to rescue her, but she ended up rescuing herself. And they broke out together, and it was Storm Shadow's first appearance. And it was a really cool storyline. And at the end, they revealed that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were from the same ninja clan, for the first time ever revealing that Snake Eyes was, in fact, a ninja. He still was considered just the G.I. Joe Commando. Now, there is that. And then there is this. This is America's Elite, G.I. Joe 25 from, this was Devil's Due Publishing. Now, as you can see, it has every G.I. Joe on the cover. They have a Cobra version as well, but we're talking G.I. Joe tonight, and it's also in the center of the book. So you could, it's like bookends. It's like flip it around. It's on both. However, Jinx is only right here, but she's in a black uniform, like I was talking about. And I'll show you why, because in Devil's Due, she had a black outfit. Now, here is that cover again. This scan wasn't very good, so I found a better one, and so there's that. And there she is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the left on on the right there. And you've got it looks like you've got Junkyard down there, and you got Order which is awesome. I love the canines in GI Joe. Now, I have a few more comics I wanted to show you that I do not have. I do have one more that I'm going to show you, but let's check out this. This is something that they brought out in the Image when it was under Image, or either that or this is new, but I'm pretty sure based on the symbol that this is an older comic. It was G.I. Joe Silent Missions. The first issue starred Jinx. I don't know if they made more than just the one. I'm not sure. But I thought this was a really cool looking comic. And they had two variant covers. I like this one a lot. This was really cool. Jinx looked really nice in this. And the variant covers are interesting, but you know, they just do it to make money because these variant covers, they're rarer, and so they're more valuable than the regular release like this one here. This was like, I still like cover price, but this is like $20. And I don't remember how much this was. I wasn't paying that much attention, but I really like the black and white pencil art style of art. And it also has, it's a better looking cover in many ways. I really love this one. Now, recently, not that recently, but more recently, they had Jinx on the cover of one of the new G.I. Joe issues. Because Larry Hama continued his run after Marvel into what's known as the IDW, Ideas Workshop comics. And they were doing their own G.I. Joe stuff, but once Larry Hama came back, that's pretty much all they did after that. And he did his series. He started on 155.5 or 0. And then from 156 on, he was at IDW for several issues and went all the way up to 300. And they also had like Silent Interlude, a 4-issue limited series. And they did a bunch of G.I. Joe Origins that Larry Hama wrote. Great stuff. I mean, really, really good. It was nice to have Larry Hama back at the helm writing G.I. Joe again. And but now he moved over to Skybound as of issue 301, which is an Image comic. Skybound's like their production company there. I don't know how that works because I'm not really into modern comics as much as I was back in the 80s and the 90s. But this is a pretty cool cover, and this is issue 307. I don't own this one yet. I do want to acquire it. I have 301, 303, and 305. So I have the first one of the Skybound series, and I haven't got into the Energon series. And I think there's some covers with Jinx on in the Energon series, but that's not my thing. I've got a few of those. I got like Duke and Cobra Commander, and it's just I haven't been able to get into them. So, and they might be good stuff, but you know, I'm a Hamaverse guy, so that's what I have there. So I have one more comic I want to show you, and I have this one. But I'll show you the cover first. I'll show you what I mean. This is a clean cover without anything on it. That's why I wanted to show it to you. And Jinx is wearing this awesome black ninja suit. Now, in this comic, this is for Devil's Due. When Devil's Due owned the license and rights to G.I. Joe there for a while. Larry Hama didn't write for Devil's Due. He did a series of Frontline for them, a 4-issue limited series, but they continued that series without him. I have the first 4 of Frontline, which is pretty cool. It was almost a continuation of from 155 on, just like he ended up doing for IDW, but he's disavowed that storyline. So I don't know if he counts it anymore or what, but G.I. Joe Frontline, the first 4 issues was pretty cool. And that was by, I'm pretty sure, Devil's Due or Image. I'd have to look because Image had it for a while, and then it went to Devil's Due for a long time. And they had America's Elite like this series here. This is issue 25 and America's Elite, and they had a few other ones, but this was Devil's Due. And the America's Elite concluded with the World War III storyline, which was really cool. But yeah, this was an awesome cover to have all the Joes up to that point that they'd ever had, plus ones that, you know, like Tycho from the cartoon. They had them all on there, so really cool to see that. But that takes us to Devil's Due Special Missions Brazil. Now, this comic, this is a monster. I mean, it's huge. Let me take it out. I have a couple of my others. If you haven't seen my For the Love of Comics Special Missions series, I just released the one on today. I issued volume 3 today. Volume 4 will come out next month. That covers these, and I just show the covers and talk about them a little bit. I haven't done any deep dives into the comics yet. I do intend to do that, starting with the original series, because, like I said, I have the hardbacks, and a buddy of mine gave me those. And I just to do him justice and honor, I do want to cover those and do a deep dive, and actually maybe even read them. I don't know if I can get away with that, but I think I can. We shall see. But Devil's Due had an interesting way of doing things, and they basically had a roster at the beginning. And they had 2 storylines that converged in this monster of a book. And the quality of these books was just beautiful. I mean, great art. Not all of the Devil's Due stuff was as good as these special missions that they put together. It had 2 stories, 48 pages. But Gung Ho, Wild Bill, Clutch, and Rock and Roll were on undercover doing something. They were infiltrating a Japanese firm. Hello, Daniel Evans. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. I agree with that statement, and I know where it comes from. But so thank you. I appreciate it. John 3:16. There you go. That was my wife, the tiger. So anyway, we're talking G.I. Joe here tonight. I'm sure God enjoys the fact that we enjoy our lives and our hobbies, because he gave us our bodies. So here we go. This storyline involved Jinx and Budo, and they had a romantic relationship in the Devil's Due, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it was an interesting concept to have a samurai and a ninja in a relationship, and it was a lot of fun to read. So if you ever get a chance to read this digitally or get a copy of this, this is the 5-year anniversary one-shot. It came out in, let me see if they have a date inside. Most of the time they do. Let's see. This is copyright. It was in the early 2000s, and no, they don't have a copyright date in here. I'm like, that's interesting. Most of them do, but those do. It has all that disclaimer information, but like I said, early 2000s, and that's good stuff. For what was going on with G.I. Joe at the time, this was it. It was all of G.I. Joe they had. It was before Larry Hama went to IDW and went back to writing his series, which is what brought me to the line. And the cartoon kind of brought me to the line, but Larry Hama kept me there, that's for sure. But yeah, there's the cover with G.I. Joe Special Missions on it, Tokyo. And like I said, it's 2 stories, 48 pages, nonstop action, and it really is. It's a really good storyline. So if you're into that kind of stuff, this is not Larry Hama, for those of you who are into only the Hamaverse. I know I have a few Joe fans that are, but I love the genre, so I check out a lot of the other stuff. Now, that's going to take us to the animated movies and series, and she came in at the end of the Sunbow run, which they had 3 5-part miniseries, which the third one was the beginning of the first season of G.I. Joe by Sunbow Comics, cartoon. Sunbow Animation basically was a Marvel production company, a Hasbro Marvel kind of a joint deal. And they did a lot of stuff, a lot of Hasbro products. They did like My Little Pony, Transformers, that sort of thing. Sunbow did a lot, but they culminated in My Little Pony movie. They were starting to do theatrical productions, and they did Transformers. And the problem with that was they killed off Optimus Prime in that, and it made it really difficult for them to sell G.I. Joe the movie, which they put a lot into. Good or bad, how you feel about it is up to you. I liked it, Jinx was a prominently featured character in it, and I love the way they portrayed her character. She is one of my like I said, she's my favorite female Joe, and this character is just awesome. And as my blind ninja master used to say, the keenest eye is that which looks inwards. So yeah, if you have a chance, you haven't seen that, watch that. She was also in Valor versus Venom. and G.I. Joe Renegades, which they did not make a G.I. Joe Renegades version of Jinx, and I wish they had, because she was featured in that quite often, and she was Snake Eyes' apprentice in that. And then she ended up going with Storm Shadow, and they were like Renegade and joining Cobra, and it was an interesting concept, the G.I. Joe Renegades. Well worth the watch. I wish they would have made more seasons of that. It was well done. It was kind of like G.I. Joe. If A-Team were G.I. Joe, that's kind of how the series was. But Valor vs. Venom was really cool. And it featured her. She was with Snake Eyes and Kamakura. They were both his apprentices. And she had a lot of fun making fun of Kamakura when he was trying to draw his sword from he was given this special sword and he couldn't draw it out unless he was worthy. It was kind of a cool thing. So it's worth it. It's worth checking out. A lot of cool action scenes in Valor vs. Venom. The music's good, and it's an underrated animated G.I. Joe film by Paramount. So then Paramount then went on to make G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, and then G.I. Joe Retaliation, and now they've made the Snake Eyes Origins movie, which hit and miss. I mean, I like all the movies. I have my issues with all the movies, just like everybody else. But we enjoy our GI Joe. So let me put some music on while I'm chatting here, but I'm going to turn it down so I don't blur you out, and so you can still hear me. All right, let's put this on the right thing. Anyway, so that's basically her in media, in the comics. She was in a lot of issues. She was underutilized, I think, though, as a character, and I think that's what it's about. But when she was in it, whoever wrote it generally treated her with a lot of respect and did her character justice, as Larry Hama did. They did in G.I. Joe the movie. She is a very well defined character, but I think underutilized. So that's why I'm the star of my little movie that I'm making. So in my head canon and in my Joe-verse, Jinx is there is a Ninja Force, and she's on Ninja Force, which I think Hasbro missed the boat when they made Ninja Force and did not make their original Ninja, a G.I. Joe Ninja on the Ninja Force. But they did that a lot. They didn't make their Hazard Environment Trooper part of the Eco Warriors. They barbecue, which was kind of cool, but not airtight. A lot of times when they had that Night Force, they didn't make Lowlight a member of Night Force. He was their night spotter. I know he's a sniper, but I mean that's what he did. He did night ops. So many missed opportunities, and Mega Marines did not have all the Marines in it. There was Leatherneck, Gung Ho, and Sergeant Slaughter, and Mainframe was a Marine also. So they could have all four of those guys in the Mega Marines. They didn't do that, just Gung Ho, which Gung Ho was the leader. And I can see why they didn't have Sergeant Slaughter if they wanted Gung Ho to be the leader. Because Sergeant Slaughter would take over that role, and they wanted Gung Ho to be the leader, which was cool. And Sergeant Slaughter was kind of leaving the vintage line at that time, and now he's back with GI Joe and Hasbro, and it is what it is. I really liked Gung Ho from the very first miniseries. He was like I have fond memories of GI Joe and Gung Ho in particular. I didn't really care for Leatherneck as a Marine when he came out, but I have a better appreciation for him now that I've written a storyline for him in my movie. But Sergeant Slaughter, he was always cool. I liked him, but I didn't love him at first the way I liked Gung Ho. But that's just how it is. But we're talking Jinx, and for me, she's part of my GI Joe Alpha team. She's on Alpha 1. And Lady J is the leader, the captain and leader of that team. Scarlet's on there, and CoverGirl, all the G.I. Joe ladies in Roadblock, and Mainframe. Believe it or not, I don't know. That's who I picked out for that team. I thought it was pretty cool. They don't really have a Ninja Force in my headcanon much anymore. The storyline I'm writing is kind of wrapping up a lot of stuff that Larry Hama did, because I started from a certain point in Larry Hama's verse, and I continued my storyline from there. Now, it's up to you where you place Jinx in your head canon. But for me, Sergeant is just a rank that they gave her. That's her pay grade. I mean, at this point, she's probably at least an E7 or an E8. She's been on the team for more than a decade. Even in my head canon, it's probably about 2 decades. So 20 years in, she's probably a master sergeant. But G.I. Joe really doesn't care about ranks like that. In a lot of ways, once you're a Joe, you're a Joe, and whoever is specialized in a certain thing will generally lead that team, regardless of rank sometimes. But yeah, they have their G.I. Joe leaders. You have Hawk, Duke Flint, Beachhead, Sergeant Slaughter. But the way I see all that, Jinx she's not one of those. She's not a leader type. She falls in on her Alpha 1 squad as just one of the squad members, right along with CoverGirl and Scarlet in that. But if Lady J got to put together her own team, that's who I'd have her pick, because she worked with Mainframe a lot. She uses computers and covered ops. That's what she does. Jinx is intelligence, covered ops, ninja. Scarlet, same, intelligence, covered ops. They all kind of group in there. Now, CoverGirl, to me, is Lady J's best friend, so that's why she's on that team. Plus, she's their driver, and Roadblock's their platoon sergeant. Who doesn't want Roadblock on their team? If you got to pick your team and you didn't pick Roadblock, wouldn't you feel bad when you lost the football game? Now, Roadblock is just a cool chill, but when I was putting that team together, I was like, who would Lady J pick to be on her team? And those are her squad mates. Now, they have other teammates, but I haven't selected them out and fully filled out that roster just yet. I may have, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at my list. But as far as I'm concerned, Jinx is Alpha 1. She's the premier. She's on the premier strike team for G.I. Joe, and or my military action group is what I like to call it now. Now that kind of takes us to where we're at right now with Jinx. She's my favorite female character. If I have a very big appreciation for her, as you'll see when I play her movie part tonight, Act 1, Scene 1 of G.I. Joe Lady Blood Right. There is a preamble. Like I said, check that out on the previous episode on Joe Takes 60 for Vypra, and also on G.I. Joe Overwatch #1 and the 1,000 subscriber celebration on From the Hill. But I'm not going to have it anywhere else until I put it all together in one movie, which will premiere on From the Hill. And then back here, I'll have it on G.I. Joe Gamer channel at some point, because all my G.I. Joe stuff ends up here. So that being said, I have played the file card. And so that's going to take us to my little movie here. I do have a music video for this song that plays at the end and the beginning. I have music videos for that. However, they're in the movie part, so I'm not going to play them again. If you want to see them, they are up on the G.I. Joe Gamer channel and on From the Hill. So please check those out. And I'll play this the movie part, and then we'll come back, talk a little bit, and then I'll sign off for the night. All right, but I'll start you off with this here.
Hilt fan play motion. You will see hands. Figures are plastic, but the voices are real. It's from the hilt. Let's play.
Let's play. And here is, if I can get to the right file, movie clips. Act 1, Scene 1, G.I. Joe Lady Blood Right. So I hope you enjoy. Let me get this other music off here. Play it as a movie.
From silk and steel. Deep where the cypress roots twist like lies, she was raised on gator blood and fireflies. stars. Folks say kin from the fifth clan both ways. Some wore medals, she chose blade. Came up mean, came up fast, drove like a banshee, never looked back. No stars, no stripes, no kin she claimed, just a shadow voice that whispered her name. Oh, Layla, they call her Vypra, but one voice says Layla. Silk on her hips, steel in her stride. Cobra's own ghost with a crimson night guide. No oaths to break, no truth to kneel. She's the bite in the dark, swamp, silk and steel. They say one uncle wore on her like war paint, but she saw weakness, she learned restraint. Joined the fangs just to spite the Lafette name, then found her fire in Cobra's flame. Layla, I bleed my shadow, striking up for glory, striking for command. Forget the blood, serve the will, become the ghost they fear to kill. Oh, Layla, they call her Vypra, but lady calls her Layla. Wears the silence like a serpent's skin, cuts through truth with a widow's grin. You won't hear her coming, won't feel the steel until you're swallowed whole by swamp, silk and steel. Layla, Vypra, swamp, silk and steel.
Oh, it's the boss man calling again. Get to work, boy, where you been?
At the grave, the unspoken pain, the silence before the strike. I walk through shadows, names carved in stone, echoes of brothers who lie under stone, a whisper of duty, a breath held in pain, their ghost in the silence, calling my name. I am the eye that sees through lies, the iron hand beneath the sky, the heart that waits, the will that bends, but never breaks and never ends. They took my ninja brethren, leaving nothing but my wrath, the blood and bone of the ninja's path. From Melee's fire to Arashikage's flame, I was born with silence carved in my name. Red blades in mourning, blue steel tears, a life of service, a soul with no fear. Kamakura, nunchuck, quick kick, gone. 2 were my brothers, 1 my bond. They stood with me, now I stand for them. No signal out, no help to send. Just a blade, a vow, and a mission to end. I am the eye that sees through lies, the iron hand beneath the sky, the heart that waits, the will that bends, but never breaks and never ends. They took my ninja brethren, leaving nothing but my wrath, the blood and bone of the ninja's path. 7 silent forms and 9 signs, I keep them near. The keenest eye is that which looks inward clear. The fight never ends, and I am ready. I am Kimi, the 10th letter, future of the Arashikage. Not Storm Shadow, not Snake Eyes, just a Jinx.
And that was Act 1, Scene 1. Now, what you saw there is really just the raw footage. There are some tweaks I'm going to make to it. Like I'm probably going to animate the background in the car so it looks like she's driving. Like I said, if you watch the one we played last week on Logan's Overwatch 2, yeah, I made some tweaks to that as well. So, you know, that's where we're at with that. Yeah, so music back on. I'll chat a little bit. Next up on Joe Takes next in a week, because we're gonna have one every week all summer long for the next 10 weeks, actually, or 9 weeks. There's like 9 more weeks. There's 10 parts altogether. Besides the preamble and the finale. The finale will be on an episode of Logan's Overwatch. But each Joe Take will contain a little video like that for each character as they enter the storyline. Next week is Shadow Tracker. I'll be doing Joe Take on him, which there's not much information on Shadow Tracker, so it might be a pretty short episode. However, I'll look for some stuff and see what I can find on Shadow Tracker. I do have the classified figure. I do not have the original, the Pursuit of Cobra figure that came out in 2010, 2011. That was something I wanted to get, but that one you could not find anywhere. I didn't order online yet at that point, so I was just relying on finding stuff in the stores. And I got most of the Pursuit of Cobra line, but definitely not Shadow Tracker. I never saw him in the store. If I'd seen him, I'd bought him. But that's where we're at. So yes, next week, Joe Takes 62 will be Shadow Tracker. We'll have Act 1, Scene 2, Predator in the Pines, and I've already shot that, and it's pretty much ready to go. There are some tweaks I'll probably make to it between now and then. I've already tweaked it a few times, but I'm going to try to get a scene filmed every week, and I'll try to be ahead like I am right now, and so we'll be ready to go at that. When I've got it all together, when I got it all done, I will put it all together and edit the crap out of it and put it into a feature-length movie and have some fun with it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you enjoyed my take on Jinx, because that's my take on Jinx. And on that note, Logan out, my friends.
Logan's room full of Joe Take dreams. Crimson Guard with eyes on the team.
I'm gonna skip that part. Let me come back along with my camera here. How's it going? I'm back, Logan the Go Gamer. Now this part is live. Well, at least today. How you guys doing? It's good to see you, Per. Good to see you, Jess. Ronnie was in here for a bit. Thanks for dropping in, Ronnie. We had a few people pop in, Bud Files, and I'll probably forget somebody. I'll look back real quick. Shout everybody out, because it was like right after I went, and that's when people started. I started playing the video, and that's when everybody started showing up. All right. Well, if I missed you, I missed you. I'm sorry. Let's get these comments back up here. I had them down when I was doing the movie. Let's see what we got going on here. We got this thing. I can do this for StreamYard while I'm here, because I like that little extra, a little bonus on when I pay for StreamYard. It's nice to have that little bit. Sometimes I get some.
Hi, Per.
Oh, we got it, Jake.
Sorry, Jake said. Per said hi to whoever's to your right. Yeah,
that would be Jake.
I'm waiting for him to be done so I can play my video games.
When you film that, Joe, bro, I'm gonna. It's coming up. I'm gonna try to get it done before summer, because I want to have that. If I can't have it out, I know I'm not gonna have it out by my birthday in April, but I wanted to. But I will try to have it out before I start my week-to-week Joe Takes. Hello to Jess. Yeah.
You're saying hi to me.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be a part of this.
Why not? That's okay. No, Joe Takes.
Those are your thing.
I get it. But, you can say hi. As promised, here's a G.I. Joe 21. This is the one that Per gave me, actually, from the set, if I can do this right. This is from the set. with the 4 hardbound volumes of the entire run, G.I. Joe 1 through 155, plus other stuff like the special missions and the yearbooks. It's all in there too. But it also came with 3 comics. This was one of them. But like I said, I do have a couple comic book covers of Silent Interlude 2, issue 21. So I guess as promised, I showed that, and it does look cool, dude. You know what? I want to take it. I'm going to take it out of the plastic so you guys can check out and totally enjoy this badass foil cover. I mean, they went all out. I mean, it's magazine print inside, but this cardstock cover is really nice. And, it's from the Kickstarter exclusive. Very nice. I would never sell this per. Yes. Ooh, yes. I know, right? With Storm Shadow. Whereas the original cover had Snake Eyes on it. This foil foil cover has Storm Shadow, which is pretty badass. And I don't use tape because I don't like to get tape accidentally on my books. So I fold mine in real nice and neat, and it stays really good that way. I know a lot of people who fold it. Most people use that tape. Some people use blue tape. It's like, why? But I guess that's the way. But I don't keep my comics that way. I keep them in the bags and boards and then fold it in so I don't don't damage the book. You don't tape here for a few comics you got. Yeah, I've gone through my comics and taken all the tape off my bags and boards. And sometimes I'll slide a second book in the back, but not with this bad boy and the other 2, the yearbook and the special edition that came with that. Oh, right here it is. As a matter of fact, I'll show them off again. Why not? Why not? We're just doing a Joe Take Classic, so we can do stuff. I did a 3-part series on this on G.I. Joe Comic Takes, and the third one came out that featured the yearbook, came out today on From the Hilt. So you can check that out. It's a little less than 3 minutes. But yeah, that's the way I roll. And I do have I have a trade paperback with all 4 yearbooks in, but it's like I had to tape that in. That sucker's all taped up, and I hate that because now I can't pull it out. I'll have to cut the tape and everything to get it out, and I want to do that, but I need a bigger bag and board for it, and it's massive. So it's like it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out easy. No. Once you got it set up, but yeah, it came with these posters, and yeah, it's my 4-volume set is way the hell over there on top of my other bookcase. So won't be showing that off tonight, but we can look at some posters and show some cool stuff off that came with the Kickstarter. Because it was so cool, and thank you, Per, again and again. It's so cool, and I came with like 4 of these little posters that I have no idea what I'm going to do with because I don't want to damage them. If I ever get them in poster frames, that would be awesome. Yeah, Yo Joe, yes. So you got one with Duke, and well, I've told my opinion of Duke many times. I have a greater respect for him now than I did as a kid, but I wasn't a Duke fan ever. Of course, then you have Cobra Commander because you got to have Duke, you got to have Cobra Commander. Had a Joe poster, so you got to have a Cobra poster. So, and this one's badass. I love this thing. Nice letter from Per here too. Thank you, bro. But yeah, I want to show off all this stuff that I put in this white envelope where the comics came in, and all this other stuff came in there too. And this pin on my hat that I always wear, that came in there too. But yeah, let me see here what I got. My trading cards, I gotta find them. I think they're up there with my 4-volume set, but I don't know. They're not in here. This is my letter. No, I don't get to read that. But it came with some sticker. This is like this is one of those patches that you sew on to your shirt. I'm probably not really. This is for my button. Boop, back together again. And then, a sticker. This is the sticker. So, yeah, I've got these in here. And so I'll put this. I like to keep everything all nice in this white envelope, separate from the rest of my comics and stuff. I do have my G.I. Joe comics underneath my table back here. But you know who has to make a cameo? It's this gentleman right here, Gung Ho Joe. There he is. He's here. He's there on my mantle. And on all my Joe Takes, Joe Takes, he's in there. Let me open this up. This got a little sticky on this plastic, and I'm gonna show off these things because they're really cool. This is a black and white print of G.I. Joe 21 style, you know, another version of it. It's really cool. One of the comics that Larry Hama put together. That's Larry Hama art right there. He's a pretty cool artist, but yeah, he mostly just wrote the comics. Yeah, you still have that? You love it? Yeah, me too, dude. I appreciate it. I am still enjoying it, man. Okay, let's see here. We'll show this. This is the cover of 21 on cardstock. Little nice poster, like a greeting, like a postcard size, and then the color version of that black and white print, really badass. And then my favorite that I keep on top, the Baroness, dude, that's awesome. So that's everything that came in that set except for the trading cards, which I did a video on that, so you guys can check that out. You check the trading cards out. It is badass, dude. Everything that came in that set, so badass. And like I said, I'm gonna do a deep. I still want to do a deep dive on the comics, and just check them out and do a comic take on the hardbacks. But I can't do it in a 3-minute video or in the vertical size, the 9x16. I got to do it full widescreen, dude. So it's gonna be a special one. It is incredible artwork, dude, and I love it and I appreciate it. And I'm gonna slide all these back in the envelope to keep them all nice and neat. And I'm gonna make sure nothing else is in there. No, I looked at everything, so everything but the comics and the trading cards. But like I said, I opened the trading cards in a video, so there we go. I keep them all nice and neat right here in this envelope. Oh. And because I appreciate it. Let me get some music on because we're gonna be chatting a bit. I really enjoyed putting those movie parts together, but it's a lot of work, and I gotta tell you, it takes a lot out of me. So it's not that I've been not wanting to do it, it's just I've had to have the energy. And so I do have all the figures I need for it out. Got my Dreadnoughts there, and then I've got all the figures from the first part that I gotta film already there, and I have the backgrounds all ready to go. I just have to actually sit down and film all that stuff. So it should be a lot of fun once I get to it, to finish up the G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright movie. And so who's Lady Bloodright? Is it Jinx? Is it Vypra? Is it the Baroness? It's all of them. And that's I love the script that I wrote, and I'm glad that Per is participating as Copperhead. He is in the preamble, and he will be in the finale. He's got a pretty big part. And Jess does the voices of Vypra. Yeah, if I can get my hair on my face. But I just cleaned up all nice today for you. But yeah, I need a haircut is what it is, and a trim. Oh, I'm getting a little shaggy. But yeah, Jess does Vypra and Zorana, and yeah, you know what? Just because I'm gonna bring up the Zorana clip. Oh, yeah, you know what? I haven't got more voices from Jess yet, so I won't do that. I won't play that. The only one I got is of her in the voices is the preamble so far. All the rest so far are just AI voice for Zorana, a placeholder, because Jess does that voice of Zorana so well. What's your take on G.I. Joe comics era after Hama? I don't know, dude. I haven't read any of the Skybound yet. I have a couple, but I haven't read them. I've read 301, 303, and 305. Like I was saying, I have those three, but I don't have the ones in between, which kind of sucks. And I missed 300, and now it's like pretty expensive. And I was getting the trade paperbacks for the IDW series, and now I'm gonna have to see if I can get them. But the 13th one in the series, where Snake Eyes, the one after Snake Eyes was killed, is so expensive. I don't know why, because that big part where Snake Eyes died originally, and he came back in issue 300. But we knew that was going to happen eventually. A clone of Snake Eyes is back. Let's see. I know I have a bunch of lines I still need to do. Like I said, Jess, I am going to be taking a big break from live streaming in the end of April and almost all of May. I'm not going to be doing anything in May until the very end. We'll be doing live play games, but I won't be doing any live streams until the end of May. The last week of May, we'll be coming back with the season premiere of Radio from the Hilt. But I still got 2 Radio from the Hilts before that coming up. Like tomorrow night, we're doing one, My Man Problems by the Tiger. Her full albums, her second one, volume 2 of hers. Her second one's coming out, and I've got a third one of hers already done that's coming out this summer, because I was supposed to have hers done in January, but I was so much going on in life. Life comes first, and that's just how it is sometimes. Let me see. Let's look at my schedule, and I'll tell you guys what I got coming up. I don't know, Jake. Did you get your schedule?
No, I'm not getting my schedule until I have my second orientation on the 1st.
And the first, are you going to run on Sunday or no?
I can run on Sunday.
Okay, so apparently Isle of Dragonhead is on for Sunday. Jess, that's pertinent information for you and Ray. So we're doing Isle of Dragonhead on Sunday, and on Monday I'm running a mag game, military action game. Like I said, tomorrow night is Radio from the Hilt, and I actually have 2 full albums I'm going to share with you. Just like last time, I had the Star Trek Attack from the Hilt. That was a bonus full album, so I got 2 full albums I'm playing tomorrow night. The other one is for our disaster theme. I ended up doing a full album for you guys. It's a cinematic video movie. Basically, not a movie, but I mean, it's one video after the other, and everyone continues right on into the next one storyline. And they're all their own songs and they're all their own music videos. But when I put them together into a video album, it looks pretty nice. And I'll be actually playing the video album tomorrow night instead of playing each clip one by one, and we're going to try it like I just did with Joe Takes, and I played the video right off YouTube. I'm going to do that from my I have them as members only right now, and I'll just play the entire video album for both of them. I'm going to be doing Space Rock from Brad and Grimm joint, and then at the end of the show, we're going to end the show with The Tiger Presents My Man Problems. So we're going to have some fun with that tomorrow night. And this coming Sunday, yes, Jess, is Isle of Dragonhead. It's on, and it's probably going to be the last one for a while, so hopefully Jake's got something going on, because that'll be the 28th session of Isle of the Dragonhead. I'm going to double check that on my calendar. Isle of the Dragonhead session 28, yes. And Monday morning, I'll be doing Monday Madness, so I'm going to be playing Monday Madness, and then I'm going to be running on Monday night for Mag, and Per's going to be in that game, and Red Power Ranger Trans 27, the Tiger, and Lucas Beckwith, he's going to be in that one too. He's Override's character from Ravenspires is going over. He never was in Stormwings, but he's switching over to Stormwings, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Rouse, exactly, buddy. We're gonna have some fun. Rars, yes, Rars. So yeah, we're gonna have a fun weekend of games, and got 2 radio shows. That's the end of March for us, But then in April, we don't have a lot, because, like I said, at the end of April, we'll be taking a break. So we've got the radio show tomorrow night, but in March we have one on the 12th, and that's going to be our season finale. And let me see, is that the season finale? No, I'm sorry. We got Tiger My Man Problems, and I'm looking at March is the problem. So April is next month, and it's the 9th of April where we're doing our season finale of Radio from the Hilt. Yeah, that'll be Nasty Ray Ray's Monumentous full album for the season finale. So he's the second album. He had one earlier this season. You have a sweet little surprise to share with us during Mag come game Monday. Sweet. I love that. I love surprises sometimes. But yeah, next month we got three Fridays from the Hilt, starting on the 3rd. And then on the 10th and 17th, we're going to be watching Top Gun and talking about that in April. And then the week after that, we're talking Rush Hour. That's Tiger's pick. And then the day after my birthday, on April 17th, for our season finale of Fridays from our season 3 finale, we've got Fridays. Episode 122 is going to be a Thor triple feature. We're going to be watching Thor the Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok, one of my favorite Marvel movies. We're gonna have a good time for our season finale. Yeah, I think so. I think it's cool, dude. Let me see. And then I've got, like I said, I've got Monday Madness, the next 2 Mondays in a row. One on March 30th, this coming Monday, and then the Monday after is Easter Monday. The day after Easter, I'm going to do a sunrise special. And I'm probably only going to stay on a couple hours. It's going to be at 7 a.m. Mountain time is when I'm starting, not like the normal 4 a.m. Mountain time, which I start the other one. So I'm going to have one at 4 a.m. on at the end of March here on Monday, and then the week after, the first Monday in April, I'll be doing one starting at 7 a.m. And then when the new season comes back for that, and that's the season finale of that too, for radio, Monday Madness Radio from the Hilt. That'll be back in June for a 4-episode run, 4 Mondays in a row. So that's how I'm going to roll. I don't know what was on my hat. It was weird, but shiny. And shiny. As you can tell, I'm getting all my talking in because I didn't do any talking. I was just sitting there watching myself talk. What's up with that for a couple hours? But yeah, so we got a little bit of month coming up, and after that, the last live of April is the season finale of Fridays, and on that Wednesday before that, I'm doing the last Joe Takes Classics, and I got another Joe Takes Classics coming up next week. I'll be looking at Shadow Tracker and Quick Kick. They're the next in the series, and then 2 weeks after that, on April 15th, for the season finale of Joe Takes Classics, I'll be looking at Night Creeper and Falcon with Coral, because Falcon came with Coral in a 2-pack. She's basically a Scarlet figure that was Action Force, but she's a blonde. Same figure, same design. They used the same figure and everything for the Night Force.
She's a blonde. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we got coming up. And we got games. We got live play games. Let me see. Like I said, military action game coming up on Monday. 2 Mondays after that, on the 13th, we got Dwarf Elf Session 3. That should be fun. And then the 19th, we've got military action game Ravenspires 4. And then the Sunday after that, those guys on Sunday, Charcoal Gate for Carnage, Session 24. And then a military action game which is basically another Stormwings Session 4. So we got 2 Stormwings games coming up, and that's April. That's April. So yeah, and, so April's what I like to call Action Month. We're gonna do some action movies. We're gonna be doing some songs and have a bunch of action songs and just having a good time. I will likely. You're silly. You know what? You keep it up. I'm gonna play our Purple Perpendicular. That's tomorrow night. I'm saving it for tomorrow night. Jake and I sang something together. It's up on the channel for all to laugh at. I mean, enjoy. Most people listen to it and go, no.
Not for fear of us being bad. It's just a truly ridiculous.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun making it. We thought we'd share it. It's just silly. And then, I will also share the Nasty Ray Ray version, which is how it should sound. But we sang Purple Perpendicular together. Funny song.
Logan insisted he wanted an actual version.
You think you're dying, but don't care. I'll check Discord tomorrow. If I'm, hey Jess, don't die. Come on. Like you still gotta do voices.
Against the rules.
Yeah, it's against the rules, and you still gotta
die. You're fired.
You gotta play on Isle of Dragon Hit Sunday. You gotta do the voices in my movie. Come on, no dying, Jess. Please, we care about you. We don't
die. You're fired.
Sleep well, your Jessness. Yes, I agree. And no dying for you. You're not allowed. Exactly. We love you, Jess. Don't keep good care of yourself, and have Ray take care of you. Yeah, you'll try not to. Who is going to run Greyhaven? There you go. You got Greyhaven. Well, I don't know when you're going to be doing that, but yeah, there's that too. So yes, when people watch this in the future, I will. You know what I'm going to do in the future? I'm just going to put this right up. So in the future, it's gonna. If we see this again, video is not live, but I am in the chat. For the next Joe Takes Classic, it will already be there. Oh no. Yes, and in the future, now it's good now, but in the future, please ignore all scheduling. Because we do live streams and we like to tell you what's coming up. Keep your chin up, Jess. Yeah, definitely, my friend. All right, I think I'm about talked out. I've enjoyed sitting here watching these Joe Takes. It's nice to see him again and know that my perspective really hasn't changed on the characters. Vypra is awesome. I love that character a lot. And Jinx, star. They're both the stars, the Cobra star and the Joe star of GI Joe Lady Bloodright. And Baroness has a big part at the beginning and a big part at the end. And Tiger's voice as the Baroness is just so good. I mean, it's really good. Ray should donate some blood for you. I think I have to do a transfusion. Oh, I hope not, Jess. I really hope not. I hope you're doing okay. And I hope you get feeling better. And I hope to see you tomorrow night in the chat on Radio from the Hilt. Because we got a big one for you. We got lots of new music for you. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So this has been Joe Takes Classics episode. I got to look it up too. It's episode 18, Jinx and Vypra. So we got episodes 19 and 20 coming up in April. And that'll be our season finale on the 15th of April. I believe that's tax day. I don't care because I'm on Social Security. So there it is. Yes, April 15th. And so we've got in April, with including the radio from the one radio from the Hilt in April. We have one more in March, but in April we have one of those and one regular radio from the Hilt. 3 Fridays, so that's going to be 5. And then 2 Joe Takes. That's going to be 7 live streams. That's all we're doing, not including live play games because we're doing those too. But our live streams, that will be our season finales from those. A lot of them we've been doing Fridays from the Hilt for 3 years now. It's awesome, but we're going to need a break. And then throughout all of May, we will be off except for live play games because we're doing those all May. I'll have time for that, and if I have time, I will try to film some more GI Joe Lady Bloodright. But then we'll be back. Our season premieres will start on May 28th with Radio from the Hilt, episode 48, and that's going to be the full album we're going to share with you. And that one is the Fridays FTH Players cover tunes. So basically, I took a lot of my original songs by the individual artists, and they redid them with the Fridays FTH Players, and I remastered them all and made nice videos, and it looks pretty cool. You'll probably be there, not sure about songs. Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, I've got some for you already. Raise your door. Yeah, so I hope that you're feeling better tomorrow, Jess. And there we are. It's Joe Takes Classics 18. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble and listen to my takes on Vypra and Jinx. Love both those characters. 2 femme fatales for you tonight. We did this. It's all done. And now it's time for Radio from the Hilt tomorrow night. So we'll see you next time, my friends. I'm going to play with a Joe Takes outro so I can put end bits on them without having to worry about anything. And we will see you tomorrow night on Radio from the Hilt. Now on GI Joe Gamer channel, we just got the Joe Takes. The rest of that is going to just be on From the Hill. Now, my friends,